Welcome to Reunite with Self podcast. I'm your host, Rukan. Here, we will be discovering and unraveling what is truly holding you back. We will put the puzzle together and give you clarity on how and what you can do to create massive shift in your life so you start creating the life you always envisioned for yourself. There is no more waiting. Whether it is liberating from dysfunctional family patterns or parenting tools and tips that actually make the difference, we will be diving into the truth and core of things that are simple and which yet no one talks about. I will be sharing with you all the things that would have changed my life massively if I heard any one of these episodes. A new world is awakening, and true bliss, harmony, and peace is possible on this earth. And my mission is to bring you closer to that, one step at a time. In this safe space, I will hold your hand and give you courage and certainty that you can shift anything and everything in your life. It is time we break the pattern. Whether you want to be the parent you never had or make a shift in your life so you don't play small any longer, you will find the support and guidance in this space. My intention is for you to find answers within yourself while you listen to this podcast, so you feel the bliss of reuniting with your true essence, with self, with so much love and compassion and courage. From my heart to yours, let's keep it rockin'. My gorgeous listener, welcome to another episode on Reunite with Self. I am so happy to be doing this episode because it's going to be a short and sweet one, but it's going to lay out the foundation of why the narcissist behaves the way they do. So our topic today it's going to be short and sweet. I'm not going to go deeper into the things, but I'll just lay it out for you. So 6 points on how the mind of the narcissist work. So as you know, just to clear it out, again, if this is your first episode listening to this podcast, when I say the narcissist, it does not necessarily need to be someone with a personality disorder. It does not need to be the narcissistic personality disorder. In order to have such a huge impact on your life. And this may be ongoing, and especially if you're not aware of what is happening. When you are not aware, it has more impact on you. It has more grip on you. When you're aware of something, that is when the game begins. Like, that is when you have the chance to actually make it your gift, actually, all the challenges you've been through and all your experience. You can change all of this challenge that you had maybe with a narcissistic parent, with a sibling, with an aunt, with an uncle, with a grandmother, like maybe people who raised you. And also this would reflect on your friendships, partnerships, social or business circle. You will have experiences with narcissists in your adult life, in your relationships, in your adult life, because you had narcissism in your family, the family you come from, you were raised in. So let's look at how the mind of the narcissist work. How does their system work? And so you will understand where their behavior is coming from. This is essential. When we know the why, then we can change what's happening as an outcome. When we don't know the why, then we are stuck in situations, in events, in what they said and what they did in moments. We are not seeing what is happening systematically. Maybe if you were raised by a narcissist or someone with a behavior tendency. Did I mention this, by the way? Yeah, whenever, like at the beginning I was saying this, whenever I say the narcissist, they do not necessarily need to have the narcissistic personality disorder. Someone with narcissistic tendencies, behavior is enough to really have a huge impact in your life if you're not aware of it, and you have the strength and the capabilities, and you always have the chance to turn it around And like I always say, make it the wind to your sailboat to wherever you want to go. The harder it is, the faster you will go. The stronger it is, the further you will go. The more clear cut you will be to go towards where you want to go. It's just going to give you more strength and more speed on. You're going to be like, bring it on. You will go further and faster, and you will want to go further the harder it is. So it doesn't matter. I'm not saying that, you need to have really strange narcissistic behavior in your family in order to go further. I'm just saying, if that was given to you, if that's what you chose when you were coming to this life, I always believe that we choose our families, the people that we have the strongest contracts with, the people who had the most, they gave they had the most influence in our lives, the biggest impact. We always have contracts with them. And the intention of the soul is to go further into love. And the way to love is this path of liberating yourself and actually starting to create your incredible life. No matter what happens, it just gives you more strength. So let's dive deep, but let's keep it short though, for this 6 points on how the mind of the narcissistic work. So the first one might surprise you at first, but then at first hearing, but then you understand, it makes sense. The first thing is that the thing they want to avoid the most is their darkness. This is so ironic and strange when you hear it first, but then it makes so much sense. Although they might be, creating so much challenge in your life, and you might even think of instances or moments, or your whole relationship maybe, depending on what happened, is this dark energy, there is darkness in there, and you had very challenging emotions with them, whether you are aware of it or not. And it's so interesting that the narcissist, but this is a fact, you need to really see this clearly, that the narcissist, what they want to avoid the most is their darkness, their own shadow. This is so interesting. The second thing is that, and this is related to this, they inflict all the emotions they are avoiding or running away from feeling onto their closest ones, or I was going to say loved ones. But the narcissist inflict all the emotions he or she is running away from, or, avoiding to feel themselves onto their loved ones, closest ones, and all the things. It can be any relationship in your life, but I want you to always go back to the family you were born into, you were raised in, that circle, and you can get bigger in that circle in order to understand why the things are happening to you in your adult life. It all begins in the family, but it starts and ends with you always. You can change your whole life tremendously, and make this your gift, actually, your whole experience. Make it your gift to have a clearer vision on how you will be in your new life, your incredible life, how you will behave, how you will have the clarity now to relate to other people, and also how you will differentiate what is love and where there is lack of love. So this is so interesting that the narcissist wants to avoid feeling the emotions are inside of them, by the way. Neglected, abandoned, long time ago, as they were 3-year-old, 1-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever, many, many, many parts of them. These feelings are like feeling of unworthiness, feeling of not enough, and this is exactly what they make you feel. With subtitles, with direct messages, with subtitles, like whatever it is, doesn't matter. Whatever works, they will do. Whatever works on you, they have been doing. So they want to avoid feeling these feelings, so they don't own the feeling and feel the feeling deeply. Oh, like I feel so unworthy. I feel so not enough. Like they avoid feeling that. And it is so sad that they inflict that pain and they inflict that whatever challenging emotion is onto their quote unquote loved ones, like air quotes, loved ones, or their closest ones. And especially first their partners and then their children. So the third thing, in the root of it all, in the root of all their behavior is control and manipulation. So they want you to feel not worthy in order not to go for what you want. Like just as like a simple example, control and manipulation is very important for them. And that is in the root of all their behavior, whether if they're playing the victim, whether if they're playing the villain, the whatever. Like in the root of all their behavior is control and manipulation and being dominant. Like this is very important for them. So the fourth one is they do whatever they do to you or their air quotes loved ones, and they don't truly want to be accountable for their behavior. They are never truly accountable for their behavior. Someone who's not willing to look into their darkness won't want to see how they made someone feel, how they made you feel. And this is a big challenge for the empathic, sensitive one, because as big as it is, like the confusion of why they said that, like how could they do that? How could they do that? Like it's very, it can never make sense to you for your heart or your logic. But once you understand like what they're doing, then it makes sense to you. Then it's clear. Then there is like no BS. You cut the BS and then you are more in your power to make a change and create healthy boundaries and all the things, like make all the changes very clearly with no, I want to say guilt. You might feel guilt at some points, and that's what makes you human. You would want it another way. Your heart would want it another way. But then you come back to truth again and you're like, this is the way it is. This is the way it's going to be if I let them do this to me or inflict this pain or sabotage me or, manipulate me or cross my boundaries or make me feel this or that in this situation. So whatever that clear, healthy boundary is, you start applying it. But if you're challenged by the fact that, they did this thing, as big as it is, it becomes even bigger sometimes, that there is no repair, that there is no true apology, that there is no accountability. And this is a big thing for the narcissist. They never want to be accountable for their behavior. In order for you to be accountable for your behavior, you need to have what? Empathy for the other person. Like to be truly empathic means that you can be accountable for your own actions. But in order to do that, you need to be willing to look at your darkness. So because the narcissist has no interest in looking into their darkness, they can never be truly accountable for their behavior. I don't want to say mistakes because it doesn't have to be a mistake or good or bad. Like that's not what it is about. Like life and connection is not about that. What you said, what you did or didn't do might have an impact on the other person. And it does. And when someone tells you what you said made me feel this way, as a healthy person, you might feel even guilty for a couple of minutes or seconds or whatever. And that is maybe the reason you want to apologize and all the things too, but you feel empathy for them. like how you made them feel, how they felt when you said this or that. You know how it feels, and you don't want them to feel that way. You don't want to cause that pain in them. And especially if it's you who is doing it, you for sure want to be accountable for your actions. And apologizing and being accountable is like natural for you. It's not, it can be challenging, but it is natural. You don't have resistance because you don't feel the shame. When you are feeling shame, it becomes more difficult to be accountable. But if you feel a little bit of guilt and it passes when you feel it, that's a result of being human. But the narcissist they are never willing to be accountable for their behavior. And if they can like ignore it all, they would choose to do that instead of like, no matter what you feel, by the way, or no matter what they cause, no matter how you feel every single day, maybe they would avoid it at all expense. If they want to apologize, if they do apologize, it's most of the time not very meaningful. And I wrote something else here, which is important. So they don't truly want to be accountable for their behavior, right? So they never acknowledge, I said this and I made you feel this way, and then the apology. They don't want to do this because one of the big reasons why, and one of the reasons, like one of the ways how they manipulate you and make you feel all those feelings like not worthy, unworthy, and not enough. And that's like, imagine how it affects your behavior, actions in your life. And it affects your mood, by the way, your state. So they need to stay in the logic of why they did that thing to you. So, they always have a logical reason and it doesn't make sense, by the way, but they have from their own logic, which points out to your wound, to your like open stomach, like to your wound that they have created in the first place if they were your caregivers. They want to stay in that logic to be able to inflict more of that pain whenever is necessary from their intentions. As hard as this might all sound, this is how it works for the narcissist. It doesn't have to affect you one bit for the rest of your life and how you live your life and how you stay clear and all the things. And it might depend on your story and how you would behave around them, about them. But they just need to hold on to their shitty behavior with their own logic. And that is always related to a wound that they have created in you or that they see in you. So they are never truly accountable. That is not humane. We all have wounds. We can always make someone feel shitty about themselves, no matter who they are. We can always do that. That's a choice. Doesn't mean, by the way, that the person will feel that way. They might see our narcissism. But it's easy, especially if there's someone vulnerable towards us, if they're our partners, if they're our kids. If they're our kids, it's like so easy to manipulate a child. It's like so easy. You don't even need to do a lot. And it doesn't need to seem like a big thing or a direct, you are stupid. It doesn't need to be that way. And even like, the subtitles work better. Like I always say, subtitles work deeper into the consciousness, like into the subconscious. The fifth thing is that they see their kids, their closest ones, whoever that is, as their competitors. They see their kids, they pick people in their closest circle, and they see you as the competitor. The sixth one is, in their mind, inside of the narcissist mind, the world is full of pain and conflict and fighting and competition. And this is what life is about. This is what the world is about for the narcissist. Life is about conflict, competition, fighting, survival, wanting to survive, and fighting, conflict, all the things. And that's why they want to disempower their closest ones, or you, if that it is the case. They want to disempower you instead of bettering themselves. So the way they see themselves is through other people, and it's through how they look next to someone else, instead of like a healthy person would look inside themselves and they would want to better themselves every single day, heal themselves, better themselves, see their shadows. You have to befriend your shadow in order to evolve and develop and grow and be better and live a fulfilling life. You have to befriend your shadow, your darkness, your past, what you went through, all the things, your emotions, what you felt. You have to be willing to look at it and also to feel those emotions in order to transform them. The narcissist has no interest in this, of course. Their driver force is shame, which they avoid at all costs, not to feel the shame, but that's how they relate to their behavior. Like if they did a mistake, if they hurt someone, it creates shame in them. And instead of feeling that shame, they just like bulldozer, they conflict that pain, they get even stronger, they get even more, they use more of their weapons to disempower the other person and confuse the other person. So the confusion creates for the other person not to see things clearly and not to create these healthy boundaries, clarify things, and ask for their accountability, and stay stronger and more straight in front of them. This is all the game they want to play. You don't have to play it as it is. You can create that clarity within you first in order to understand what is the best thing to do in that situation or in those moments. And it can change and evolve in time. But the first and the most important thing, my gorgeous listener, the first most important thing that will change everything for the rest of your life, that changed my life in an instant, is clarity. Clarity saved my life. Literally, emotionally, physically, metaphysically, energetically, possibility, like everything. Clarity changed my life. And it is one of the main reasons why I have created this podcast and why I am creating these episodes every single week to guide you, hold your hand, and just remind you of your own truth so you create that clarity for yourself, so you see the whole puzzle instead of looking at just like events or situations one by one. You just look at the system, what has been happening, what it truly caused in your life, and what will continue to happen if you just let it happen to be like that. What you call love might not be actually love. What you do in the name of love, what you let or accommodate or enable in the name of love, might have nothing to do with love. And please listen to the other episodes. I'm going to continue creating incredible episodes. And if you speak Turkish, by the way, please listen to my other podcast as well. It's in the show notes. And we are doing a workshop on Zoom, and it's going to be free. We're going to meet on October. All the details are on my other podcast and the Instagram related to it. We're going to create a circle, hold a circle, and we're going to work through all of this, where you are now, where you want to go, and what is truly holding you back right now. Create that clarity, and so that you find the ways to start creating your incredible life. And we're going to be doing Q&A. You're going to see me work with a few people directly as well in this experience. And it's not just going to be me talking. We're going to have like fun practices, exercises together. It's going to be a really amazing experience. And I will definitely do this in English as well. And so if you speak Turkish, I just wanted to tell you, please go to my other podcast in the show notes to get into the list. I'll see you next week. I love you so much. I'm here with you. You will start creating your incredible life, or maybe you already have. I am with you. I see you. I love you. I'll see you on the next episode. My gorgeous listener, if you had any takeaways from this episode or from this podcast in general, I would love to know. Please share this episode with a few loved ones right now. You never know how they can benefit from something so small. And please take a screenshot of this episode and share on IG, tagging me at Khevella. That is Khewella. Khevella. That is my goddess wear brand, my Instagram page. I would love to know what your takeaway was, or something you found inspirational, or a confirmation you believe in as well. That would make my day. And you can always DM me if you have a topic or a certain question in mind that you want me to talk about. And give me a 5-star rating if you feel like it. That would help this podcast immensely to get the word out. I love you. See you on the next one. I want to see you shine your brightest.